All right, let's see what you have for me today. So taking a look here, we are talking about how many trays, and we are documenting our assumption that there are 36 pieces per tray. Good work. Here we're talking about the cost per tray. Nice job with specifying that this is the cost per tray. Otherwise, you might run into some issues with the users using your spreadsheet. So $15 per tray, $10 per tray, good. The one thing that we might want to break this out to, and it's just some feedback that I've been giving is, and this might not be something that your user really needs, but somewhere where they could put in basically 3 components. How much they purchase these items wholesale for, how many ounces, pounds, grams, whatever that unit of measurement is, they get for that purchase, and then how many of that unit of measurement they use for a, in this case, tray, right? But here, at least you're doing it per tray. You're not doing it for 576 trays, and I'm assuming that if I go ahead and change this to 600, yeah, these items are going to change. Nice job. We only have one direct labor item. We have a pastry chef who gets paid $23 per hour. Nice job with paying them a semi-livable wage. A lot of people are paying them $15 an hour. Let's see, so that is 144 hours. So one thing you might want to do here is, you notice here how you talked about the cost per tray? It would be really nice to say, okay, it's 23 hours, and then talk about how, $23 an hour, and to have somewhere where we can put in how much time it takes a pastry chef to make one tray, right? So if we say, oh, okay, so we're going to pay our pastry chef $23 an hour. It takes them an hour to make a tray. So each tray costs $23, something like that, right? Because here we're kind of falling into what we were talking about before. I'm just kind of guesstimating how much in 600 trays. But if you say, oh, you're going to be using, I don't know, 1.2 hours per tray, then you could go ahead and multiply it through. And then this, good. And then as I go ahead and change this, that would update for me, right? So, and then I could still go in and say, it's not actually 1.2. We use 1.25, and it would update, right? Let's look at your manufacturing overhead. Good job with recognizing that this is for both of your products. I had a lot of people who are doing factory overhead for each. Let's see what we have here. So keep in mind, sales staff is not manufacturing overhead. Sales staff is a period cost. Maintenance, as long as it's for the factory, that would be factory overhead. And then shipping, let's call this packaging. Packaging would also be manufacturing overhead. So good work there. And these are costs, right? So really, these should all be in dollars. There you go. So total materials, total labor, total overhead. Okay. Okay. That is low. Okay, that's fine. I'm assuming, yep, okay. Direct labor per unit. Coming back to that, alrighty. Okay. Give me a second. I'll pull this up so you can see what I see. Divided by total. Okay, so we're doing it per tray, right? So instead of per unit, stay consistent with what you had above there, per tray. Okay, so that's the cost per tray. Let's see if it's fully allocated. Oh. 5850. Good job. Okay. And then your last step would usually be to go ahead and figure out the total manufacturing costs, right? So we have overhead. And now if we go ahead and we break this all out, we could find out what is the total manufacturing cost to produce these trays, right? So we know manufacturing overhead is this. We know that our total direct labor is this. Let's divide that by the number of trays. And we know that our total direct materials cost, oh, we have it per tray. There we go. So it costs us $65.18 to make a tray of baklava, right? So that would probably be your last step here to really kind of dig into that manufacturing cost for this one. But good job. The few areas, one thing I will say that is very good here is it's very clear to me what your inputs are. The one thing that you're probably going to be asked is to have some types of instructions. A little spelling error there. Have some type of instructions here where we can say, edit the white cells, do not edit the yellow cells, right? Because we want to make it clear that the yellow ones should be editable. Are they editable? Yeah, they are. Or another thing you can do is lock these down so that they can't be edited. That would be a quick Google search that you could learn how to lock a cell. Yeah. Areas to work on specifically in addition to that would be a little bit more documentation of your assumptions. I see that you're coming up with some of these numbers, but you could have included some links to how you came up with some of these different recipes and items like that. But overall, doing pretty good. And I love this little note here too. So keep up the good work. If you have any questions, let me know.